Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Meeting Gold podcast episode. I knew I couldn't take this one seriously because we've got my good friend Blake Roubos.
Yes.
Roubos?
Yes.
Roubos?
Yes.
We've got Roubos on, Mr. DroneHub himself with his brother Blake, and we're going to be diving into creating a media company. Blake, you've worked with some pretty big names. Can you give us a little list of maybe some people that you've worked with that people would know? Any listeners?
Yeah. So, do you want me to just give a background?
Yeah. We'll get into that. But
all right.
Another nice little hook.
I'll give a list of names. So we film and create content for specifically in the real estate industry for guys like Frederick Eklund, Josh Altman, Tracy Tudor, Leonard Steinberg, Eric Conover. Bunch of people.
Yeah, like really the list goes on and on. But yeah, simple as this, Bailey's probably one of the first, like they use this word is used way too much, but like, revolutionizing like video marketing in terms of like
Pioneer.
Yeah, pioneer. He made a camera. No, but when did you start your company?
I'm getting old.
28 years old.
27 or
27, 28.
27, turning 28.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
So I think it's been 7 years now.
So when would that be?
It was
2015?
It was 7 years ago, like around this time.
So like 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, 2015. Was there really video marketing for homes? Nobody really. It was more just photos, right?
Yeah, so more photos. What there was, like if there was any videos, they were like picture slideshows.
Yeah.
And like
Windows. We'll get into that. But everybody, welcome Blake. Thanks for coming on, bro. So Blake, for anybody that doesn't know, him and his brother co-own DroneHub Media. Is that right?
Yes.
DroneHub Media.
Yep.
I don't think media companies get enough raps, but they produce like everything that everybody sees. It's just the agent that's in front of it that gets the credit for it. But any big front runner for media, it would be DroneHub, and LPG would probably be like some of the biggest companies.
Yeah, it's hard to say now who does what.
There's a lot of independent guys,
but
a
lot of guys that like there's companies now that are like splitting up that of what they used to be, and
right?
So it's but yeah, me and my brother, we've been doing stuff for 7 years, and it's just like a lot of the stuff that you might not be like it might be our content,
yeah,
but like you might not know it. Or
yeah, no, exactly. So Blake, give us a little background on like you started your business. You were how old again? How old were you when you started? Like just
19.
Started. 19?
I think so.
And did you go to college?
I went to university. I didn't want to go to university, but I dropped out after our business became successful. I was there for like 3.5 years. I went to Brock for business.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that you were like actually about to graduate.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean,
you were close.
I passed all my classes, but yeah, I just I don't know. Like as soon as I started my business, I just like instantly. I mean, even before I started my business, my interest in school was kind of down. I went to a private school in the States for high school, and so they had an entrepreneurship program there, which like I immediately like fell in love with, the idea of creating businesses and stuff.
And you were into video before, like your OG snowboarding clips.
Yeah,
like,
we used to do
that was good. GoPro stuff.
Yeah, all the GoPro
Hero
stuff
3s.
back in the day. Hero 2s.
Oh, jeez.
Hero 2 is like the revolutionary camera that came out that everyone wanted.
Yeah.
That was when GoPro I think was like peaking its hype.
So when did real estate become part of the factor here? Because like there's a lot of creative people. There's a lot of like video guys and stuff like that. I think in terms of like financial growth, success, real estate for content marketing is one of the best industries to get into because I think it's so scalable if you can do it right, which you've done. So where did real estate kind of come into the equation? Why real estate? Why not? Why didn't you get into like production for like a movie set on like,
so
cameraman?
My whole family is in real estate. My dad specifically was like at the time the new talk was drones this, drones that, but at the time there was nobody doing anything cool with it. And so like with my snowboard videos that I was always making, I was like, okay, why not like try to make something cooler than these just boring picture slideshow with elevator music. And then I came across this company called Bespoke Real Estate in the Hamptons, and kind of they were filming, like they sell really nice properties, and they're a real estate company. They sell houses, but and they sell the premier luxury houses
like the beautiful ones,
and so those houses have a lot of features that you can kind of show off in a video, whereas like your ordinary houses might not have those features, like automatic blinds or like whatever you
big
name
doors,
it.
staple windows, bay views.
And so they did a really good job at like emphasizing those things in the house, and it kind of drove emotion to the product that they were creating with the video. So we kind of like, I saw that idea, and then I was like, I'm gonna put my own spin on it, and then ever since we did that, things just kind of took off.
You kind of brought it over here, right?
Like we brought it here, and we just like wanted to put our own spin on it, and things kind of took off and at the time nobody was doing what we were doing or anything like that. So like we weren't afraid to try something new.
And nobody on scale, let me add that. Like nobody working with multiple people, like full time. It was like the way I think of it is like pioneering being a YouTuber. Like nobody 20 years ago would think like, oh, you could get paid just making videos. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing for what you're doing now. Like people probably didn't think that it could have been an actual full-fledged business. Yeah,
and well, and the ability with the camera equipment and stuff, right? Like the drones used to be massive, and now they're tiny, and they're like we bought, like when I first bought my drone, it was like $3,500 or something. And
wasn't it? What was it?
One.
Yeah.
I was like, I fully invested, and literally, I think it was like the second day I was using it, I crashed into a tree. And so,
are you serious?
Yeah, I was filming a golf course, and there's a massive tree, and I was like, okay, I'll never go sideways again. I was like, now I'll know to like look around,
because they didn't have any of the sensors or anything then, did they?
No, they did. They did, but it just maybe they didn't. I don't.
Flying sideways full speed, for anybody that's listening and flies a drone, you'd probably know it's the stupidest thing you can do.
But well, so
if you don't know your surroundings,
I do it. You just have to like now, like that was like number one. Like do a 360. Make sure you're not going to smash it when you're flying sideways. So you just like learn a lot of things, and I haven't really like crashed a drone in like 3 years now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've kind of mastered the art. We were laughing. We were at breakfast this morning with Mr. Thomas, who we actually interviewed last week, and we were just laughing about some of the funny stories you have in New York City, like flying some drones and stuff like that, which is legal.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah. Depends where you are.
Yeah, it depends where you are. But okay, so you chose not. Well, you did go to university. You didn't want to go. You loved entrepreneurship. Your parents were real estate agents. Were you like, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, can I go film with my drone your home? Or was it like, hey, son, can you come and film this? I think it'd look really cool.
So the first big project I did was I did a bunch of like beach videos for my mom's brokerage.
Oh, really?
So like they sell a lot of lakefronts, DW Howard and like Ridgeway and Fort Erie and Port Colborne and that area. And so we filmed every beach. So I think there's like 10 beaches along that area. And we kind of like, we put all these videos together and you know, so that they could put on their website to showcase like, because people want to see what beach they're living on.
Yeah.
And
so it was like lifestyle content, kind of.
Sort of, but more basic.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't the lifestyle promotion. Like now everybody's trying to promote the lifestyle of a property rather than just the property itself.
Yeah. And that content's gradually evolved into something better. But no, it was like at the time it was just basic videos. And then my brother came home from school. So like I initially made the purchase of the drone, and then I had to buy a new one, and then we bought a bunch of regular camera equipment.
You and your brother.
Yeah, and we didn't have gimbals at the time. We just did sliders and tripods and stuff.
So what, you would just like go pan back and forth in the room?
Yeah, and we'd also use the drone and like walk with it with the gimbal. And
really?
It was like, well, it was a scrappy startup, right?
Yeah,
like,
but nobody else.
But nobody was doing it.
Yeah, so it doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad.
You actually look pro holding a drone.
Yeah, like
through a room.
Nobody knew at the time, like like it was still new, right?
Yeah.
So like you weren't afraid to try something new because there was no consequences.
Because it was. Let's go back a second. It was really just photos, right? Like
mostly
of marketing properties, and there wasn't even like HDR photography or anything, was there? It was just like.
Well, and that's Well, no, I don't know. But
really, like 10 years ago,
maybe,
there was HDR. 7 years ago, I doubt it. Maybe higher end.
Maybe,
but
so I mean, just photos. But we came in from a video aspect, and then we had clients eventually that wanted photos to be done, or like, can you do more of a package deal? And so that's kind of how we entered the market. Which like nowadays it's much harder, more difficult to enter the market. Because even if you offer free stuff, like you might not even be able to get the chance to do the free stuff.
Because if you only do one
it's
thing,
saturated, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, like when my brother came home the summer of 2015, my dad wanted him to work real estate, I think, or get his license.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, no, we're gonna try this out, and we just did. Like,
how old was your brother?
We cold called. What's that?
How old was your brother?
He's 2 years old, or a year and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were still like he was like mid college. No.
Yeah, mid college.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Because he played junior hockey after.
Oh, really?
High school, yeah. So
gotcha.
I think he delayed college. I think.
Okay, so he was like 21.
21. He would have been
Okay.
21, yeah.
And so let's talk. I know you're gonna get into marketing side of it. So like, I mean, it's nice that you had a little bit of like a relationship, obviously, with your parents to help you get into like just starting as like kids, you could say. I think the age group for like media content creation has gone down, considering the fact that I'm 18. Yeah. Right. And like now I can go out on shoots and like film stuff. I think people would.
I think anyone can.
I think anyone. Oh, realistically,
like
yeah.
If you're personal, like if you can.
It's
like,
just about you could be 60 years old and be really good. Yeah.
And like.
So I mean, it's nice that, but your parents can only take you so far, right? Like your parents can maybe get you a couple stuff inside the brokerage or whatever. But so like now marketing to what you guys have now.
So going back to that, when we started, like they helped us, but like not to the extent like. When we initially started, like we would sit down at the table all day and like just cold call and ask, like offer free videos and stuff.
And what were their responses? Cause like video,
they were extremely receptive to it
because they were like, oh, no form of marketing, cool.
Yeah, well, and it was free. Like what?
Right, you were offering free stuff,
right? Like so, like our first big project we did was for a guy, Dan Cooper. I love the guy; he's awesome. Up in Oakville. He's a real estate agent, and he has a house on North End Lake Joe. And he's like, yeah, come film my cottage up at Lake Joe, or come film this cottage up at Lake Joe, right?
Just to see what you guys can do.
Yeah, and it was like at the time I think it was like 6 or 7 million, which is like it's a nice cottage. And so we're like, okay, like this is our time to do something.
Like you got a nice home,
or whatever, right? Like there's like no other. And so we did this video, but it's funny because going up there, we're like, okay, like. Do we get a hotel? Like we had no idea where we were staying. And then like we're like 45 minutes out. We thought we were gonna sleep in the back of our car. And Dan Cooper sends us, I think, a text or an email, and he's like, hey, you guys want any food or whatever? I was like, we're like, what? Like,
yeah.
He's like, we got a feast over here or whatever. Like,
really?
And so then we ended up staying, and we didn't know it was his house until we got there, but we ended up staying there and like at their, like in the boathouse or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then what's funny is we did that free work, but then while we were up there, he tells his other buddies, like who have cottages there, hey, these guys are here. You want a video or whatever, right? And so we stay, I think, a couple more days, and we go around on his boat, and he takes us to all these different houses.
Did you get paid for those?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So like, what was it?
So it's like we did this free video, but then we ended up getting paid for the trip. And at the time, I think it was like a couple, like we $1,000 each or something. Which is, like at the time was. Yeah, I mean, that's still now it's decent.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say like a couple $100 would be cool, even just like starting out. But I mean, you guys were 19, 20, 21, around there. Yeah, like. You got to start thinking about your life. You got to start thinking about your future, like actually being able to buy a home, being able to get a mortgage and that kind of thing. And it's like for you to just go and start a media, not even a media company, just like a business to shoot real estate that like nobody really even was doing other than photos. Pretty ballsy. So marketing, it kind of just grew from there. Was there any like pivotal moments that you guys had where like, I know spoiler, like Bailey filmed The One in LA, one of the literally, well, his brother did, but the nicest home in probably North America, biggest at least. But like getting to that point, any pivotal moments that kind of got you there, like working with these big names, that kind of thing?
Honestly, like I would give big credit to Dan Cooper because like he referred us, like he got us on the cover of the Toronto Star.
Really, eh?
He got us in with a company called Taylor Group, which does all these massive experience conventions at like CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. And then like he got us in with a bunch of other realtors, Matt Regan, all these other guys up in Oakville. And then from there, it was just we were already distributed enough, like to at least locally in Ontario be growing. And then my brother went back to school, and then he kind of did stuff he went to school in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So he did some stuff up there. I stayed home, kind of grew the business a little bit more, but, and then we started after we had that summer, we were like, okay, like we kind of want to like grow this a little more. And
you made some good money.
We wanted to film the nice houses, right? Because we're like, yeah, these houses are good, but like it's like, like we're like, I want to do the stuff that kind of like creatively.
Yeah, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million plus. Yeah.
And so especially like trying to like, because you're starting a YouTube channel, so you want to get the best content for it, right?
I was gonna say, so was YouTube for you guys like where you maybe thought the business would go to in terms of like growing the marketing side of it?
Not really, no. But
it was just a fun.
But it was us and like LPG, like Lifestyle Production Group. We kind of like bounced off each other. So like LPG would drop a video, and like I was always super excited to watch their work because I mean, just any content creator is excited to watch somebody else's who has talented work, right? And so like we were super excited to watch their work, what they would drop, and they were like, okay, like now let's like try to like one up this or like
or like snag.
So it was like back and forth, right? So it was like really healthy competition that kind of like pushed the quality,
the bar and the quality,
but as far as marketing goes, we just like we're like, okay, let's start pushing down in the States, right? I think our first trip we did was over Christmas time. We drove down to Miami.
Drove?
Yeah, we drove 24 hours.
Holy.
Me and my brother. And
did you line up some shoots when you went there?
We're like, what we did was we were like, okay, like, I think we had like 1 or 2 shoots, not a lot. But we're just going to pay for our costs to go down there or whatever to like enjoy it. And then when we got there, we shot for this guy, Julian Johnson. He like gave it, like we ended up getting with like 7 or 8 more videos, like while we were there. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was like that whole trip went from like thinking we were going to shoot like for one day
and
like do like a like few days of vacation to like filming the whole time.
Gee, so he was probably like, how long you guys here for? I could get this.
Yeah, like we were,
So it really just goes to show,
kind of
like,
on the fly.
You do things good with people. I mean, you grow well. I mean, and you're in the terms of like a video business, a lot of guys started 3 years ago, COVID, like that kind of thing. You are like the veteran side of it. Like you guys, LPG.
Yeah, that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, I guess like if you want to call it the veteran side,
like
I mean,
from a real estate video standpoint.
From a real estate video standpoint, yeah. And I mean, I don't know, like, is there any real estate company, like real estate media marketing companies that have been around for more than 10 years? Because I feel like they'd never, like our age from 2000 to 2022, the technology that was advanced was beyond like 1800 to 2000.
Just the cost alone has made it a lot more accessible.
Well, like, and that's the number one thing is, right, they've been able to get the cost down. Now, from like 2000, 2010, I bet you know, high quality photos were the big thing. And then maybe like 3D tours. Well, maybe not even like maybe, you know, really just high quality photos. Then coming out of 2010, maybe you started to see some video here and there, bespoke realty. Maybe they started. I remember you showing me back in like, what was it? Like we were in New York City. You were showing me in 2013 or 2012, like bespoke realties, some of their videos or something. They were, I
think, a year or two before us.
Yeah. Like 2013 or something
before us.
So it really just goes to show from
2014,
like on a large scale, I guess video didn't come into really play like 2014, 15, 16. And then you've kind of now, I mean, you guys have premiumized your service because one, you've been in the business so long. You're, you know, like everybody's kind of like, DroneHub.
Yeah, it takes a while to build the networks.
I was going to say, because experience, it doesn't mean everything. I mean, like me, Thomas, we've only been in the business for like a year, year and a half. We make a great living for ourselves. But like to now say that you're in the business for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and maybe even longer, you are a veteran. Like a lot of people know your name when because of the houses that you guys have shot. If anybody listening, if you're on a long drive, check out DroneHub Media just on Instagram and kind of like some of the stuff that you guys do is like, it's kind of mind-boggling. You are humble about it, or you're either humble about it or you just don't even see like how it's like a big deal. But I think the young kid in you, like if you go back to when you were 19, if you saw what you were posting today, you'd probably be jaw dropped.
100%. Like I it's weird because
most expensive home in North America.
So I've got like through real estate filming, I've kind of gotten really into like design and like architecture and all that stuff. Because like the best architecture and the best design like is the best houses. They're the best houses to shoot.
You're a big timeless guy.
Yeah,
Vip.
Minimalist, timeless.
Shout out to
Vip. So through that I got into that, and then but like you see all these nice houses and you just become jaded by it. Like you're like you're not. Like you walk in, like I'll walk into a $30 million house. Most people will be blown away by it. And I'm like, it's just a house.
Yeah. Cause you've seen it. You've seen the features, the design before.
But like from a filming aspect, like it's like, I don't know, like it takes a lot for me to get like super like excited about a property now.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like, okay. Like,
is there any, I guess you like, you develop, it's the same thing as like, if you talk about it in like a money standpoint, it's like if you made, if you made $10,000 a month at 15 years old for a year straight, after about 7 months, you wouldn't be like going around bragging about it. Do you know what I mean? Like or like if you were like you said, the creative style of things, like if I shot a $30 million house, everybody that I know would know that I shot a $30 million house. But for you, because you've done so much of it, it's not that it's gotten old. It's just gotten like you appreciate great architecture. And so let's get into a little bit of that. Like, yeah,
because you're always fine tuning.
Yeah. Like, right? I remember you saying to me, what was it? Like was it the trim or what's maybe like the top three? The lights. That's what it was. Yes. Like that show great architecture.
Oh wait.
Was it trim? Or something?
No.
It was like, what was it? It was like in your house right now you have for the air vents.
Oh, symmetry.
Yes, symmetry. That's what it was.
Yeah, symmetry.
Like, are the air vents the same in each room, or wasn't it something like that?
Oh, so if you're going to like good design, it's like consistency and then symmetry and like those are like the two biggest things.
Right.
And then material. So if you have quality material and then you have consistency. So like for instance, like I noticed like where I really kind of started to understand design was when I was like in a house and the air vents in the house were the same as the shower grades in the like where the drainage is. Right. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Or like, the color coordination of everything, it kind of like goes one by one through the house in some way, shape, or form. Like in my house I have a bunch of black or whatever that kind of like translates, or even like the VIP, like the holes in the lights or whatever, and then I did like the railing.
I will say VIP is like for a guy, it's like this modern taste.
It's a Scandinavian minimalist style.
Yeah, but it fits like a modern mindset, but it also fits like I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with that, but it fits like a modern style, but all styles, if that makes sense, right? Like it's a very tasteful thing to look at. I don't think anybody could look at a VIP chair like what you have in your house and say that's ugly. Yeah. I think everybody would actually like it. Yeah. And it fits almost everywhere. Yeah. Like really you could make it fit everywhere. So where have you kind of come to get to that point of $30 million, $40 million, $50 million homes plus? Because I'll be honest, you might get like I would be excited getting like $1 million, $2 million house to shoot, that kind of thing, right? How do you get from like 1 to 5 million to like 10, 20 million?
Well, you just have to expand outside your area. I mean, you're not going to go in Niagara on the Lake or something and Like
That's true.
Right? Like it's
so a lot like you guys do a lot.
Like we were like, we got to go to like first thing was we got to go to Miami. Like if you looked at all the modern houses there, right? Like that was kind of cool.
And then how did you work your way in? Because I mean, let's get into kind of what you're doing now. Now you've worked your way into basically, if somebody doesn't work with you, they still know your name. Like in the States, in terms of real estate
usually
agents.
They'll come back if something messes up, right?
Right.
Like we're kind of always there for our clients, whether they leave or they come back to us.
And that it's almost like that comes with like the veteran, because people know that you guys are always going to be there.
Yeah.
It's like, if I got in the business, right, and I started doing that kind of stuff, built the relationships with the realtors, and then I just stopped doing video after a year or two, right?
I mean, that's the difference between building a personal like video company and like an actual brand
company,
like an actual where you have people working for you and stuff. So it's like, because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm gonna go off and do something else, and then next thing you know, we got a client that calls back, oh, like my videographers started shooting out in British Columbia or something. And it's like
exactly
right,
and it's like you guys,
but we're still here.
Yeah, you'll shoot in Texas. If you guys knew Bailey's schedule, he really doesn't have time. Like, you're out in Texas, then you're out in New York City. You call me, you're out in New Jersey some night driving home. You'll go to Miami sometimes. I mean, it's really everywhere. Like, you guys kind of not own North America, but when it comes down to those big homes,
too, because people they see a lot of our content. They're like, you guys are living the dream, and it's like, no, we're not. Like, we're grinding. Like, you don't know. Like, in the summer, especially when you're going like sunrise to sunset, when you have to get up at like, say if you're in New York, like, which is like on the east side of the Eastern time zone, like if you're in the Hamptons,
right? You're
getting up at 2 a.m. to go shoot sunrise, and then you're filming until 12 at night. Like, you're going all day, and then you multiply that by multiple days, and next thing you know, you have no sleep for a week.
Now,
so it's just like, it's great. It looks great on camera, but it's
I mean, like, it's definitely a grind, and that kind of leads me to the next question. Is it possible? I'll ask you a tough question here. Is it possible to scale a media company?
It depends on the circumstance. Like, if you want to scale it that's the biggest problem we've had, is scaling it.
Well, I think that's the biggest problem any media company has, is because it's such a quality control business.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
and there's I think what's happened in the last few years specifically is like, there's been a lot, especially in real estate video, there's been a lot of good people, like people who've, I don't know, the whole, like, we've like, all of us have kind of like brought the standard up, right? And so, like, if you look at our work like 5 years ago, like, not nearly as good as what it is today, right? But like, somebody who's, you know, new in the business and like has, you know, kind of created a cool style, you know, like, there's a lot of those people out there. It's just, you have to find it, and it's like, and then you have to pay them what they're worth, like, right. So
and that's the biggest thing is if they're good.
Yeah.
Who was it that told me this? Somebody said, you'll never hire another you. You know why? Because another you wouldn't work for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and that's the biggest issue we've had, is hiring people, retaining them. And then, and like, from a scalable factor, like we've been kind of looking into different directions as far as like business models might go, like whether that's like, you know, partnerships in local areas where people can kind of run their own media company, but do it under like, you know, the resource of our editing team and whatnot. But yeah, it's very difficult to do.
I was going to say to keep it consistent. It's like, and I think like the biggest lie you can tell yourself in starting a media company, you know, for the people that have, is like, it's easy to scale. It's not. No. In fact, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I don't have much knowledge in other industries, but in terms of a scalability factor, I genuinely think real estate and media are up there for like the hardest, because I think that media especially is everybody thinks different. Everybody has their own creative styles.
Creativity.
You cannot mimic it. Like whatever. And yeah, that's the biggest thing is like, even I want to say like a finance team or like a fund management company or like lawyers or this or that. Sure, you hire somebody because their personality is great, just like you would for a media company. But the quality and the creative style, there's no like person telling you at a house what to exactly get.
Yeah.
At all. Like at all.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like, and I've questioned myself whether, because I'm an entrepreneur at heart, right? So it's like
you want to scale everything you do
because you want to keep building the business, right? And like you always question, like, is it worth it for me to keep trying this? Because it's like you're always dealing with quality control, and then I don't know, it's just always, and then you're like thinking to yourself, like why not start a more easily scalable business where it's like, my clients own GFL and they're a garbage company, right? Like,
and they're billionaires, right? Like,
yeah. So it's and that like picking up garbage is a lot easier and more simple task than filming something which somebody needs to have an eye for and whatnot. So
I feel like is the question, like, as an entrepreneur, you want to make not necessarily the most money possible, but you want to build the biggest brand. You want to build the biggest business. And I don't know if it's a realization, at least I've come to, but it's like, it's impossible to like scale this to be the number one best company or the number one most because you can't, because like you could be like the biggest company in terms of client size, but there could be an agent that's like, I don't like DroneHub style. I don't like how Bailey films the houses. And it's just like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's
you're never gonna win everyone over.
And then I think that's a realization a lot of people have to come to.
I think that's the biggest thing too with us growing, right? It's like everyone wanted the owners, right, to film for them. And even like people wanted my brother, like if my brother shot for somebody first, they would want my brother instead of me. We have slightly different styles to our videos.
Right.
I'm more of a storyteller. He's more of a kind of like a hype kind of like
energetic.
Cool, energetic.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
So like people prefer different things, especially when they're used to it.
They like routine.
Right?
Yeah.
And so transitioning, getting people to work for you. Like I got Brad, he's been working for me for 5 years, which is great. Cause in this area, like, he's kind of our bread and butter for our clients.
Well, and I find like Brad's adopted your guys' style really.
Yeah, he's
really
done really
well.
good. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I give Brad props because like the expectations that have been raised over the last 5 years in terms of quality of filming and how to deal with clients and there's so much more competition.
Yeah.
Like so much more.
Yeah.
And it's just, it might not be like direct competition and people say, oh, I don't believe I have any competition. Okay. Well, when somebody is taking your client's business, that's competition, right?
Yeah.
When there's a threat, that's competition. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Competition isn't a bad thing. I mean, if you want to think about it, like I shoot media, real estate, you shoot media, real estate. We've got our own slices of the pie.
Yeah.
You've got a bigger slice, but like it's everybody has their own creative styles. Everybody's going to get their own, different type of people. If it comes down to price, realistically, I think anybody starting a media company, if they do it long enough, they'll find out that they can grow a business and they'll have their clientele that's going to stay forever with them because they just like them.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have that clientele. You probably have that clientele. Mm-hmm. So let's get into that. Your clientele, because you've got some really interesting people. I want to ask you how you met a couple of them. So Eric, Mr. YouTube superstar, house tour guy, Eric Conover.
Yep.
How did you get into contact with Eric? What was that like? Was it just like, hey guys, I need a videographer? Or?
I don't even know.
Really?
I think maybe he saw our stuff on Instagram.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, let's do some stuff together.
Yeah, I think our first project we did was with Deborah Johnson in Atlanta.
Like big ones?
Yeah, it was like a $10 million house in Atlanta.
And so did that kind of propel you in doing those bigger homes? Did you use that as leverage?
So Eric's great because a lot of times like he gets paid through his advertisements or his like his YouTube advertisements or his in video like brand deals or whatever he has. And so I can go to any client, and he has a big following, especially like I think he has like 1.8 million subscribers or something on YouTube.
Yeah.
Along with all of his other channels that he has. And so being able to leverage him to our clients, because he wants the good content. He wants to shoot the best homes, right?
Mm-hmm. And he'll only shoot the best homes.
Yeah, he only wants to shoot the best homes, right? And we have access to those clients, so we're good for him. But then he's also good for us because people want the exposure to those homes. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just a natural partnership that kind of worked out.
It benefits both parties big time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another big thing we've seen is like media, or real estate tours. Yeah. Like media tours.
They've changed a little bit.
Yeah. Like David Dobrik coming out with, what's that? Real estate?
Yeah. My editor.
Yeah.
I got a message from my editor one day. He's like, "Is this your guys' footage? Like on David Dobrik's file?" What? Like,
I gotta be honest. I think he did something with it. Like it looks a little choppy.
Yeah.
Did he slow it down when he edited it himself?
And what does he say in the video? He's like, I've had a passion for filming real estate. I was like, filming, like stealing other people's footage. No, I think our client ended up giving him the
which
the
was
footage.
because that was
which would have been nice if they would have told us about, but whatever. That stuff happens all the time.
I guess there's nothing you can do about it
in this industry where it's like the licensing and all that stuff. It's like I don't know.
It's gonna get taken.
It's all a bunch of BS.
So you're like, we were talking a little bit about creative style. Your creative style when it comes to like filming a home. I've been on some shoots with you. You're in and out in like 45 minutes if you want to be, and it'll be a great video. Like it's not like you're rushing. You know exactly what to get. You can.
Yeah. What's the quote? Spend like, I don't know, like spend 5 years learning how to do something quicker than like taking your time. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, or it's like, I've heard stories where it's like, I was like, I was watching a YouTube video, like back when I was starting, like how to price projects. Yeah. And it was like, don't price for the hour, cause coming from like a minimum wage job to now pricing things that it's like a premium service, right? So you don't really know what to price. And the guy was like, don't price based on time. You spend, years practicing to do something quicker. Yeah. When a client goes to you and says, "Hey, this was really quick. Why?"
It's like, well,
it's quick because I'm so good.
5 years learning how to do it before you.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And so, I mean, that's where it goes into, client appreciation, everything like that. It sounds like you guys have found your bread and butter in terms of clients. And I mean, you're really respectable in the industry just with all the people that you work with. But your creative style, from an outsider's view, you guys do this really cool, like you'll do speed ramping. In fact, I'll be honest, like you guys kind of didn't start speed ramping in real estate, but brought the energy to a home. I mean, when I watch one of your videos and then I watch maybe Average Joe Blow's video, I see this home doesn't have personality.
Okay.
This home, I'll cut that out. Brianna, cut that out. Why'd you say that? Then I would have been like,
leave it in there. Just leave it in there. Joe Blow.
Joe Blow. Average dude, I guess. I see that you guys give the home personality. And maybe it helps that the home is $30 million and maybe average guys filming a nice $1 million home here. But you give the home personality.
We try to at every circumstance. I will say this. Our clients... Sometimes we have clients that are like, "Oh, why doesn't my video look like this?" It's like, well, your house, like when we film a home, honestly, like the quality of the video comes down to the quality of the product I'm shooting.
That's true.
We've gotten to that point that's where it's at, because it's like the more features that a house has, like the better the video is going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas like if you shoot an ordinary house, they're not going to have any crazy features.
It's like you've hit that peak performance level of quality that if you go into a 1,100 square foot home here, that's a typical townhouse. Yeah. Your video might actually look
I'll film it the exact same way as I do a bigger house. It just won't be the same.
It'll be the peak performance for that home.
Yeah.
It won't be like anything more than that. And it's like, like if I went in there and then like a guy charges maybe a couple $100 more than me went in there, and then like you guys went in there, you might look at all the 3 different videos.
And the other thing is too, I will say it also depends too on what the client's willing to pay and like what so if they want day to night, like that adds value. Right?
Yeah. Like big time. Twilight shoots are huge.
On big houses we normally do. right?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you go around here, like they might not want that.
Where
They
did
might not wanna spend the time.
where did the Twilight idea come from? Because realistically, I don't think anybody utilized that Twilight like idea, that the speed ramps, oh my God, what's the word?
Time lapse?
Yes, time lapse. Nobody was really doing that in homes. In fact, very few people do it to this day, even just because it's so time consuming. And that goes into like the creative style that you guys have done. Have you kind of just developed that over the years, or has it been like you kind of just started with the speed ramps, you started with this, I mean, you literally said like you started with tripods in a corner just panning the room or walking through with the gimbal. Like it wasn't anything crazy. But did you start to develop the speed ramps through watching other people, through trying new things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lifestyle. I think Lifestyle was like one of the first to do that.
Yeah.
A guy named I think his name is Eric Leaf.
And
now he works with I think Florida Media out of Colorado. I wish we would have picked him up when we did, but
yeah,
should have done that.
Yeah, right.
Should have snagged him while he was available.
And that's the biggest thing, is like it goes back to scaling, like trying to build a company, not just pursuing a passion or a hobby. I mean, I've even questioned you on this before, man. Like, would it be easier sometimes to just drop everything, go back to like when you were 19, shoot real estate, but just super high end?
I could make more money right now doing everything on my own, no overhead.
Yeah.
Than what
just have an editor.
But I'm trying to build a business. Like I'm trying to build something that's bigger than me, that I don't have to.
Where does that motivation come from? Like that motivation to build the business instead of just like live life well. I mean, because I
just want my time.
Yeah. Like you don't want to have to work for every dollar.
I don't care about money. I care about my time.
Yeah. And in return, being able to bring in more money will give you more time, because you're able to,
I'm able to utilize my time
hire
something
people,
else,
right? Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I can go, if I can get the business DroneHub running itself, for instance, I have it running itself in Niagara, right? So what does that allow me to do? It allows me to film everywhere in the States.
Yeah.
So I have business in Niagara running itself, and then now I can have two products going at the same time, right?
Do you see yourself going to the States anytime soon, or like
yeah, probably
a couple months?
I think I'm maybe end of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
my girlfriend's in Colorado, so
that's right. Yeah. So go there for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Blake lives where?
Blake lives in Chicago. We did have an office here, and then COVID hit, and then everything's kind of gone remote. And then we have an office in Chicago.
Where did the office come from? Why Chicago?
That's where my brother lives. So he went to school in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And so we also went to private school in Indiana. So we have a lot of friends that were 2 hours away in Chicago.
Right.
Right. So he already had a bunch of friends there. He was 3 hours north in Wisconsin while he was going to school. He would come down on weekends to Chicago to shoot for people. It's a major city.
Yeah.
A lot of business there. And then he just ended up staying in Chicago.
And then he just kind of built up the business there.
Yeah.
So are you guys looking to, is there any future big plans? Is there any what more can guys like you do in terms of shooting real estate, revolutionizing the game, evolving, adjusting? I mean, because I don't even know. I don't know where video or marketing for homes looks like in 5 years, because I don't know what new technology. I mean, you could do FPVs of homes, but that's already being done. So what, how can you start to evolve the game?
I mean, I want to evolve the industry.
Yeah.
I want to keep bringing other people up in the industry.
Right. So almost
having, because we have clientele and we're probably not utilizing them to the maximum capability that we are.
I remember having the conversation.
Just given that we're just so spread out, me and my brother and stuff. So
well, you guys are busy.
Well, yeah, we do a lot of traveling, right?
Yeah.
I would rather somebody in that area doing the stuff that we would be doing.
Right.
Yeah, just evolving the industry. I also do really enjoy the process of I'm renovating my house. It's been a long project, but it's almost done. And
I was going to say, are you going to become a future architect or what? Because Mr. VIP over here. like, hey,
No,
don't get me wrong. I love VIP. I just make fun of you for it because it's all you bought, but it looks great. The home looks great.
And the reason I did that is because I want to have it shown, like, I want my product to be shown on the VIP website or on.
I even remember you made the washroom because toilets for any toilets are the worst things to shoot. Like for like if it's like not like an ensuite bathroom, but it's like a regular
a 2-piece bathroom. So like for instance, I'm building kind of how I see how I see it through a camera lens.
Yeah, your home is perfect to film. Yeah, that's how you built it.
So between lighting, between everything. So and like for instance, like a 2-piece bathroom, right? You can't shoot like if you have a toilet and a sink across from each other, it's like almost impossible to shoot a bathroom like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you build the 2-piece bathroom that's next to each other, where the sink and the
you
toilet
can kind of get the toilet.
You could easily get it.
You're in an awkward spot when the toilet's isolated because, like, sometimes I've gone to just showing the sink, the vanity. Yeah. Sometimes I've gone to because sometimes it's not even big enough.
Yeah, no,
and it's not like your home's like 3,000 square feet.
No, it's like 1,200.
You've utilized the space. I mean, it's very open concept. Yeah. Like, I mean, your main room is very open concept. Yeah. Where did you get the architectural ideas for your home? Because it's completely beaten out every home in the area.
Some things like if you go to like 51J Street in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's a condo development that was put in Dumbo. Just like kind of right on the water there in New York, like Brooklyn area in New York.
Yeah.
They like those condos are pretty cool. So like I think I was originally inspired by that because they had a lot of black. They had a lot of like I don't know, like it was like
what do you call it?
Tastefully done.
Would you call it timeless kind of?
I don't know about timeless because there's certain things in there like cabinetry and stuff that would still probably go dated. But then also like I started getting in like when I saw in the Hamptons, I filmed the house in the Hamptons, they had Denison flooring, and then I started following them, and then I found VIP, which is very tastefully compatible with Denison. So it's like you start digging into these companies on Instagram and stuff as well as seeing them in real life.
So you brought up Instagram, sorry to cut you off. Has social media gotten you like a ridiculous amount of clients? Like realistically, like has Instagram, because of what you guys post, has it basically kind of helped blow your business up?
Instagram helps. You definitely get a lot of business from it.
Right. Like, do you must get a lot of messages like, hey, I love your work.
Clients, yeah, like the people will follow us, and then I'll say if they're a client in an area that we normally shoot, right? Like if they follow us and I see that they from that area, I'll reach out to them like, hey, anytime you need a video, let us know, right?
Right.
And then sometimes they'll respond, yeah, I have a project coming up, whatever.
Because you built that credibility on social media big time.
We grinded iMessage.
Really?
Yeah. And it was the best way to do it because we would send at the time, like late at night too.
Yeah.
You catch them on like when they're sitting in bed on their phones doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like weird time to like message them. Totally like probably not business, like whatever. Ethical,
not
or whatever you want to
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Right? So we would just, and it was very easy to copy and paste. So you would like copy and paste the same message, but put like change their name, right?
Yeah.
And so, but we would send the actual video in the not like a YouTube link. We would send the actual video bubble in the text message.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it would be a black screen or whatever screen it would be with the little play button, right? So obviously, like if you see that in your text message, you're probably gonna click it.
Yeah. So they would be like,
because we knew our content was good enough, like that if a client saw it, they might be interested to, right?
It was just a matter of getting your eyes.
It was the exposure,
eyes on it.
right?
Yeah. So okay, well that's good. So you had the self-confidence to know that your quality was there.
Yeah.
It's just the exposure.
Yeah, it was just the exposure, right? So we would just bombard, like we would go through. We built a list that was, I think we have like 20 or 30,000 agents in it. We're just all phone numbers.
Jeez.
And it's just like,
And just reach out, reach out.
You literally click on the number and it pops up on the iMessage.
Really?
Yeah. And then you're just like, you just copy paste, boom, next one, copy.
So where, as we kind of wrap up, where do you see DroneHub headed in the future? Will you be a active role in the company? Will you shoot more private, like higher end homes and hire out for you call lower end like $1 million, $2 million, but like, below 10 million, I guess. Yeah. Like what, especially if you want to go to kind of Miami. I mean, Brad and the team here do an amazing job.
Yeah. I mean, right? I would rather people working for me doing the work.
Yeah.
Like I would rather that, like, if they can perform the quality that our clients would want.
It's more just
like
getting
some of the higher end clients that are like pretty demanding or like expect a lot more from us. I remember going to New York City with you the one time. Might still shoot for them, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, or like any project too that like maybe we're passionate about. Like I want to go. Yeah, something you throw up on YouTube and be like this video.
Damn, this is cool. You guys want to do it? Because that's that childhood. I guess like, dude, this is cool type of mindset hasn't left you guys when it comes down to filming.
No, it never will.
Homes.
It's just you have to get the right property and the right project.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know.
And I mean, Miami, like where you guys are, that totally supplies all the homes that you guys can film. I mean, you filmed with, what celebrity homes have you filmed? Can you list some?
Usher. That was an experience.
Do we go over that or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you filmed Usher's house.
This is early. Take us back to like 2016, 2017.
First of all, you filmed Usher's house within like 2-3 years of doing business.
Yeah.
So like that's insane.
The house, by the way, it wasn't anything crazy. Like,
where was it?
I think it was his house. Like, I think it was on MTV Cribs at one point, the house.
Okay, so you arrive
at north of Atlanta, like Alpharetta, Georgia.
Okay, so you're filming at Usher's house. You arrive at the home.
Yeah, it's in the morning. We shoot all morning. I think we were sitting around for like an hour because Usher was sleeping in or something. And so like we had to wait for Usher to get out of his bedroom and I don't know, maybe he went to go work out or something, right? So we had to wait for the master bedroom to become available so we could finish the shoot.
Yeah.
And my brother, I guess, talked to his stylist because he has a stylist in his house or whatever, and asked if it would be cool to like get a picture with him or something, whatever, right? And she's like, I think she said to him like, yeah, like he's totally cool, whatever, like not a big deal. So Blake goes up. Blake, like Harris was with us at the time, our buddy Harris. We're sitting there. Harris and I are sitting there, and we just watch Blake approach, and we're like, "No, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!"
Okay, sure, then what? Then what?
Goes and does it, right? And he was like, his response is like, "No," and then he's like, "And you're in my house." Right? The whole room just got deflated, and ever since then, like they almost lost the listing or something because of it. It was like kind of nuts. But after that, ever since, we're just like, fuck Usher. Like yeah. Like these celebrities are nothing. Like who gives a shit about these guys? Like we're like our whole mentality behind celebrities now completely just changed. Yeah.
So what other just for the sake of like humbly bragging, what other celebrity homes have you guys shot?
Who's the film guy? Who's the big film guy? Avatar.
Oh, what?
Titanic.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, we shot his house.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we shot his house in LA. My brother has who's the guy from Kiss? Gene Simmons. My brother has his number. My brother has his number.
Really?
Yeah, he just and it's funny, like Gene would like walk around, like my brother has a gimbal, right? And he's like, Gene would show him a shot he would want. He would like walk around like this, like this, and just like like show him. It's the weirdest thing ever, but he would like show him what he would want. We shot actually both of his houses. I think one in Vegas. So it's actually funny because I think the first one was for Josh Altman. And then the second one was for Ivan Scher, who we work with in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So he has a house in LA and Vegas. So when we have clients, both the agents that we work with
Right,
represent. But yeah, so Gene Simmons. We just shot Madison Beers, which I know you love her. you got a crush on her.
Throwing me under the bus there.
Yeah, and then Calvin Harris. We recently shot.
Which is like Madison Beers selling her house.
What's that? Yeah. Maybe they're getting a divorce. I don't know.
She's moving to Niagara or what? I think she's dating that Austin guy. I don't know.
And then we were supposed to shoot Justin Bieber's in LA.
Yeah, didn't you get some sort of contract to do that
never did.
Never did.
Kathy Griffin, crazy lady.
Who's Kathy Griffin?
You know she like held the Donald Trump head.
No way. You shot her house?
Yeah. She was actually really nice, I guess, my brother said.
Oh, that's nice.
And then it was funny in the same day. So totally two different political.
Yeah.
Right? We shot her and then John Voight, who's like a well-known, like that's Angelina Jolie's dad. So,
no
like,
way.
Well-known, like conservative, like
Angelina
activist.
Jolie's dad. You shot.
He's like a well-known actor too.
And this is for all these are for all the big agents that get these guys.
Yeah, like
homes.
Josh Allman and them. They usually get those types of people. Who else? I'm trying to think of anyone else.
I'm sure you've shot like plenty more celebrity homes. If it's not celebrity.
David Bett, Patrick Bett David. I shot his house.
Really?
But he bought the house.
Oh, I see.
So it's funny because my friend Jaden, you know Jaden.
Yeah.
He sends me a video or whatever of Patrick at his house or whatever, and I'm like looking at the video. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I think it's he was like showing the view of his house, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I've been there before, right? And sure enough, like it was like he bought the house.
So
I shot like literally 2 months earlier.
So you shot.
Or
oh my God! So you shot his house. Well, and then you realize it because your buddy sends you a video.
A few months later, I see like I'm watching this video and like I'm like, yeah, like it was a very like the house across the intercoastal was a very like architecturally significant home. Like it like has this crazy point on it. Like it like if you see it, you won't not remember it.
Is there any anybody that comes to your head? Like that you want to shoot for, anything that you haven't shot for, in specific, any regions, areas? I mean, you kind of shot everywhere in North America, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would love to try like Europe and stuff, but like
very cultured homes.
Yeah, like there's some cool like it'd be cool to get like an old like something like an old village that's just remodeled, like I don't know, like something that's like a building that's like from like 1400s or something, and it's like
a super
redone
cultured
completely on the inside. Like I don't know, like those are the houses. Like just any appreciation for architecture. Bates Mossy, they're a really good architect out of the Hamptons. They do like really incredible product.
Do you work with any architects to showcase their work?
No, and I probably should.
That's so shocking to me.
And I've reached out to like I've shot 3 Bates Mossy homes just for clients, right? And like
it's shocking to me that
they don't
you
do a lot of work.
Yeah,
but to do 3 of them was like a lot, and one of them, which Ryan Serhan I think sold, and I've sent it to him many times. There's no bites, and like they're awesome videos. Like really storytelling.
It's shocking to me that like no architect,
especially from a company that's like been.
Oh yeah,
they
like
spend 18 months to like whatever 36 months, whatever it takes them to finish a project. Like they're
get some appreciation
they're
out
like
of it.
They're more appreciative of the project than like a average everyday realtor that's
exactly
gonna walk in and sell that home and be on to the next one in the next 20 minutes, right?
Well, no, exactly, and I that's why to me it's like it's shocking that you haven't.
Yeah, it's weird. We sometimes we do builders and stuff.
Like developers, that kind of thing.
Builders, yeah. Those are the best jobs though, because
really
they pay the best. Oh,
because you get more work out of it.
You get more work, but they have bigger budgets.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you've done it all, I guess you could say. Really, like you. I don't know much more of what you could do. But yeah, like future of DroneHub.
I want to do a master class.
Yeah. And a podcast.
Yeah, maybe we'll get you on a podcast. Podcast would be cool.
I'm trying to get Bailey to start a podcast with his clients that we can go and produce.
Yeah,
I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Especially like a lot of these people that have these like, I don't know, a lot of agents and like whatnot. These people have like this crazy persona about them, right? Like they put them on such a pedestal, but they're not really that. And then on top of that, like a lot of people only see the pedestal, right? It's like if you had a podcast that, you know, you're digging in deep into their lives. Like,
yeah, you would get to know them a little bit better.
And that you would expose that. And a lot of people probably haven't seen that side of it.
Exactly. That's why I think it'd be so successful. Yeah. It's because you've got these, doing media with people, you actually get really close with them. Like I would probably say that like Blake is probably close with a lot of the bigger agents that he'll shoot with out in Miami. Like he's probably pretty close. I
still haven't met Josh Allman after.
Oh really? Oh boy.
Good backstory to that.
Good backstory. We don't have to get into that one.
But yeah, so it's
Are you gonna shoot Drake's house?
I've reached out to Ferris Rafali a few times, but they have their own guy. It seems like I don't know who they use, but
that'd be really cool.
Because Ferris Rafali does he's the designer and the developer
for that area.
No, for for those like I don't know. He does these crazy like. He's just like interesting. It's a very like niche design that
castle, like a modern castle.
I don't know, like it's nice right away, but like I feel like it would just get dated after like 5 years, 10 years.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is like we took a drive, me and some of my buddies down Bridle Path, and you know the houses are huge.
They're all teardowns in there.
Yeah, like I
to me they're teardowns. Like I look at their houses in the Bridle Path. They're a lot.
Well, I just think like I don't see like I would go to Miami and a house along the water would be nicer. And this is Bridle Path we're talking about. This is like Billionaires Row.
Are huge,
you know, like this is like Billionaires Row from New York City for Toronto. Yeah. But it's like we don't see like those modern. We see this more dated.
Canada,
castle-y.
From a standpoint, Canada has terrible design and architecture.
And
absolutely horrendous.
And I think you have the right to say that because like you've seen architecture. Like you have like, and same with like
Muskoka. Oh, I will say Muskoka's pretty good.
Muskoka?
Muskoka's not bad. Like if you go to the right areas,
like cottages.
There's some cool cottages up there.
Yeah.
But a lot of those people are American that buy up there now.
Really?
Yeah. So like my clients I shot a $25 million house for my clients, and they sold it to some medical guy down in the States.
Really? And he just bought it, escape.
Yeah.
Enjoy I guess because they don't really get too much cold if you're out in Florida or whatever. Maybe you want to enjoy some snow, some different weather.
No, they do it for the summers are beautiful up there.
In Muskoka?
Yeah, you would leave Florida in the summer and go up to Muskoka.
Because it's too hot in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, interesting. Hey, I think we covered everything today. I think it was a great little potty. Bailey texted me. He's like, because I think it was because I got Thomas on, kind of pressured you a little bit to come on.
T-Drone?
Yeah, T-Drone Media.
No, you were bugging me for a while.
Then you finally text me out of the blue. So if I came on your podcast, what would we talk about? I was like, bro, I don't know. Like, we just conversation. It's like, oh, okay. All right. How many views do your videos get? But we'll get there. We'll get to DroneHub size soon with the podcast. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. I took your podcast virginity, which was nice. So hopefully this is the only one you ever do. I'd be shocked if you do any other ones because it was so hard to get you on this one.
I enjoyed it though. It was good.
Yeah. Maybe we can do some DroneHub podcasts.
Yeah.
That'd be really sick. I'd love to produce something like that. But anyways, thanks for coming on. Feel free to tune in. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We post on YouTube. We post clips. We post YouTube shorts. And then check out our Meeting Gold page on Instagram and LinkedIn because we're actually posting our Meeting Gold on Foot series that you guys can enjoy. We ask random people random things. Bailey laughs at it. But it's a great series. Anyways, thank you guys. Take it easy. See ya. Thank you for listening to this week's Golden Guest on the Meeting Gold podcast. If you learned something from today's episode, make sure to check out our other content on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, make sure to leave us a follow while you're there. Thanks, and have a golden day.